Today I will review decimal and place value blocks so I can compare decimals in place value blocks, and I'll know I have it when I can correctly compare decimals in place value form. So this goes along with what we've been working on with our place value blocks. So in this first example, we have the stick is representing one whole. So I need to set myself some lines here for each of these. So one whole would be that I have 3 holes in this first example because I've got 3 sticks. It's going to take 10 of these to make one whole. So that's going to be my tenths. And then I don't have anything for my hundredths or my thousandths. Over here I've got 1 whole, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths, because 10 of those makes 1 whole, and then I've got those. Now I just need to compare, and I can very clearly see if I'm looking at my whole numbers alone, this one is greater than the one on the right. So 3 and 1 tenths is greater than 1 and 5 tenths. I'd like for you to pause this. We do see now this time the flat is 1 whole, and let's compare those decimals. Hopefully you have had time to do this, so I'll set myself up some lines. So in this left one, I have no holes because I have no flats. I know these, it takes 10 of these to make 1 whole, so those are my tenths. And then I have no hundredths and no thousandths. Over here, I also have no holes. I don't have any tenths because those are my sticks, and the sticks it takes 10 of those, so I have 0 of those. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those ones take 100 to make 1 whole, so those are my hundredths. And then I have no thousandths. Now I'm looking if I'm going to go and stack these. 0 and 2 thousandths and 0 and 60 thousandths. I'm looking, my whole numbers are equivalent, my decimals match up, and I've got 2 and 0, they don't match, so that means that this one is going to be larger because I have like 200 pieces of the next whole, and this way I only have 60 pieces of the next whole. So even though there are more things here, these are worth less than these two. Now this one is slightly different, but it's still the same concept. This time I've shaded, the block is 1 whole. Which decimals of the blue are less than the shaded decimal? So first thing you need to do is identify what the shaded decimal is to start. Alright, so I know it's going to be 0 holes because I don't have the whole thing shaded in, and I've got 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths shaded in, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 hundredths shaded in. And now I need to just stack my decimals here. I automatically added in my 0 because I knew I needed to have equivalent place values. And now I see I'm going to need to have equivalent place values, so I need to add in a 0. So now I'm looking for things that are less. Well, this is like having 460 pieces. Well, 370 pieces is less than 460 pieces. Well, 700 pieces is definitely much bigger than 460 pieces. And 111 pieces are less as well. So it's the same kind of question, I just asked it in a slightly different way. For your bring back to school problem, you've got 2 different problems here. In the left, it is 1 whole is represented by the flat, and I want you to compare those 2 decimals. And on the right, I would like to know which decimals are greater than the one that I have shaded. So please do both of these, and I will see you in the morning.